Hello everyone. I am so excited to be making this video featuring my all new Wacom One 13 Touch. As you know, I have absolutely raved about the Wacom One displays since they were first released. This is the first time that Wacom has launched new tablets in this line, so I'm pretty jazzed about it. We're going to talk all about it in this video. So I do have my first generation Wacom One right here, and I also have the new Wacom One 13 with touch. There are a lot of different things that I want to talk about, but I want to start with two things that have me really jumping with joy. The first thing is that the new Wacom One displays, they have a single USB connection. That is huge. If you're an educator like me, we move around a lot, we teach in multiple classrooms, and portability is an important factor. With the first generation Wacom One, it was great, but I had a lot of cords. So I actually have them all here. You needed to plug into the wall. You also needed a dongle if you had a Mac because it was an HDMI and a USB port. And so, I had three things that I needed to plug in. Now on this new Wacom One, they've been able to consolidate it all down into one single USB-C cord. That is absolutely amazing. The second thing is that this specific tablet has touch. So they launched two different displays. One is the Wacom One 12 and one is the Wacom One 13 with touch, and I got the one with touch. I've never actually had a Wacom display tablet with touch before, so I was super curious to see what options that would open up for me and how it would impact my workflow. Let me start off with some specs. So the Wacom One, like the previous generation model, offers a 13.3-inch HD screen and 4,096 levels of pressure sensitivity. It connects to your PC, your Mac, your Chromebook, and Android devices. What's different is that this new display model features etched glass rather than a plastic screen, which I think was only available with the Cintiq Pros before. I've also noticed that with this new tablet, my screen gets brighter than with my old Wacom One. The two are nearly the same size. Let me turn off the screen and hold them up. I'm holding them one on top of one another, and you can see in the back is my older version, and it is slightly longer, and that's just because it has a larger border. So the original Wacom One first generation had a larger border. They have the same active writing area. The newer one is just a tad smaller in form factor, and it is a little bit lighter. I've definitely noticed it feels a little bit easier to carry around as well with the first generation. So this is the first generation Wacom One. It had these retractable legs that were built in. That's no longer a thing with the new version. So the new version has just a flat back and the stand is not built in. To be honest, I usually use my Wacom tablet flat on a table when I write, since that's how I write on paper. So I personally am preferring the sleeker form and lighter weight to having the stand built in. And also that stand wasn't adjustable in any way. What you can do with the new Wacom One devices is you can purchase this really clever stand. So actually these magnet together so that they're easy to carry around. And to use it as a stand, all you do is you prop it up like this, you put it on the table, and then you can place the tablet resting on this to prop it up to whatever angle you want. So this becomes more adjustable because you can choose where on the tablet you want to put it so that you can have it angled higher or lower to your liking. So I am really a fan of this. Of course, these are sold separately, so you do have to pay a little bit extra, but I thought this was really clever and I like it. Now let's talk about the pen. So here's the new pen, and I do have a colored cap on it. You can purchase the colored caps separately, or you can just use the built-in cap they have, but with the colorful ones, when you purchase them, then it does give you the little clip if you want that. And here's the original from the first generation. So they look rather similar, but this one is a little bit slimmer and of course a little bit prettier. Now, the major difference is that the new one has two programmable buttons. See, so this down one is a programmable button and the up one, whereas the first generation only had one programmable button. This is a major difference. I am really excited about this because I really like having the two programmable buttons. Personally, I like to have one to pan and scroll and the other as an undo button in most of my applications. You can actually, with the Wacom tablets, you can program the buttons to work only in specific applications. If you want to change that at all, there's a lot of customization options, but one thing I didn't like about the Wacom One first generation model, there were two things I could say that I didn't like, was the amount of plugs that I needed and also that it only had one button. And so Wacom has performed in both areas. It now gave me two buttons and a single USB-C connection. Now let's get into the multi-touch, which is really fun. Again, this is my first multi-touch, so I'm really excited about that. So as you'll see at the top of the tablet here, there is a power button. This second button is to adjust some of the settings. And then this third thing right here is actually a toggle. And that toggle allows you to turn touch on and off. So it's really nice that you can turn the touch on and off depending on what you want. If I'm just in the mood to do a lot of writing, for example, sometimes I'll turn that multi-touch off depending on what software I'm using. I'm a lefty, I drag my hand quite a bit on the screen and it can pick up a stray mark or two if I enable touch. I haven't noticed that it's been a major thing at all. With some other tablets that I've used before, it has been a big problem for me. Again, I'm a lefty, it is a problem that I have, but this really wasn't the case with the Wacom 113 Touch. So I'm really happy about that. And again, I can easily toggle it on and off so easily. I really enjoy being able to move around the screen and zoom in and out with touch. And there are also a bunch of touch gestures that you can customize to your liking. With my original Wacom One, I usually had to have my keyboard by my side so that I could trigger certain shortcuts to make my workflow more efficient. But now I can do pretty much all of that with the touch gestures alone. And again, you can customize the gestures for all the apps, or you can also create app-specific shortcuts. So that's really handy too if you have different needs for different applications. Speaking of customization and setup, Wacom has done a lot to improve its device manager, which is called the Wacom Center. These aren't actually brand new updates, but they all make getting started with a new Wacom device better than ever. When you open up the Wacom Center, you have all these getting started videos and setup 101s right in front of you. I love that everything you need is packaged in one place. Here, you also have the option to customize the settings for your pen, the touch gestures, the on-screen shortcuts, and all the software offers that you're eligible for with your new Wacom device. Now, let's get into a little bit of writing. All right, let's move over to an overhead shot. And Cami is one of my favorite applications to pair with my Wacom tablet. If you haven't used Cami before, it integrates with your Google Drive or your OneDrive, depending on what you're using. It gives you the ability to mark up any PDF, and also it's collaborative in nature. You can create right in Cami. I'm going to show one of the templates right here in the Cami library. Let's go ahead and just choose this All About Me template. You can see it's going to upload to Google Drive right away to sync there, and you can further share that document with other people to give them editing or viewing privileges. Now we can pinch to zoom in and zoom out and scroll with two fingers. I love that with the touch. This is so exciting. And then you can use the pen tools right here in Cami to fill it out. So let's go ahead and choose a drawing tool. Let's actually pick up this color first, and I'm going to say my name is. Beautiful. Move around, zoom in wherever you'd like. Let's make this a little bit thicker. My birthday is actually coming up. It is September 16, Virgo season. My favorite color, it depends, but let's say blue today. And you can see that you can fill this all out with the drawing tools, though you also have the ability to use the text tools that are built into Cami. You can add images from the media library. There is a ton of stuff that you can do, but I'm going to just stick with my drawing tools right now. Let's just go ahead and make a quick smiley face for my selfie. And again, yeah, it's really, really cool to be able to use the touch gestures alongside the pen for this. If you do not have the touch model, then I do recommend setting one of the pen buttons to allow you to do the zoom and scroll. You can set that in your Wacom Center. Now, if you are an educator, something that is amazing, if you go to the Wacom YouTube channel and you look at their playlists, go over to Education and Presentation with Wacom One Pen Display, view that full list, and these are a bunch of education apps that actually you can get access to when you purchase your Wacom tablet. You get like a 1-year license. It depends on which app you choose, how long the license is for, but these are ones that are recommended to pair with your Wacom tablet. And actually, I had the honor of actually scripting all these videos. You're not going to see me in the videos, but I did script them all. So I'm really, really pleased to have been able to partner with Wacom to create these, and they're specifically for educators to help you learn how to make the most of these applications with your Wacom tablet, because the Wacom tablet's awesome, but you need to know what to pair it with. And so some of my favorites are like Cami. You'll see there's a teaser video here, but there is also a more extensive video here, and then there's one that tells you more about setting your pen settings, like I was saying before. And you can see that there's several for Cami app. And then you've probably heard me talk about Explain Everything, which is like an all-in-one app to allow you to make videos. And then you know that I've talked about Pear Deck a million times, which I use for my teaching and for my students. So I do encourage you to hop on over to the Wacom YouTube channel, check these videos out, and learn a lot more about how to pair your Wacom with really effective apps like Cami to make the most of your tablet. It really just works like a dream. You can probably see why I love the Wacom One display so much and why I've loved it for years. Yes, it's gotten better, but even the first generation was just so wonderful. And this has just added an extra notch. So like my excitement level is very, very high right now. I am a person who loves everything being digital, but I also really like handwriting. And so this is just the best of both worlds that's brought to me. And now I can do even more. The writing feels even better and it's more portable. So I wanted to keep this review rather brief, but if you have any follow-up questions, let me know. I'm going to wrap up by just summarizing some things. So again, the Wacom One first generation was already my favorite device. Now it's even a step better. As I mentioned at the beginning, the single USB-C connection is probably the thing that will allow me to use this device so much more than I was able to before. Even at my desktop, I'm really happy to say goodbye to all the cords that I needed to plug in. Now, the second thing, the touch, that's pretty thrilling, especially in some of the note-taking templates where I really value being able to pinch to zoom in and move blocks and text around. And I can now just do that by, selecting with the lasso tool and moving it around. I could do that before with the pen, of course, but I needed to do more clicks. And now it's a little bit more effortless with some of the gestures that I could set up. Also, when I'm making videos, I don't need to reach to my keyboard for some of the shortcuts that I had set before, and I can do that with some touch gestures. And again, the ability to drag things around with my finger and then write with the pen is really cool. And this is my first multi-touch experience. So I think I'm just like, again, my excitement level very high. The added button on the Wacom One pen is something that I did find lacking on the first generation. So that's amazing. Even if you get the Wacom One 12, which is not touch, you do have both buttons on the pen that you can program. So that's going to be really helpful for added shortcuts too. I love the look of this new device. The screen has the same resolution in its specs, but it does seem so much clearer. And maybe it's because of that brighter screen, and it is glass now. So again, that's another area where Wacom has taken things up a notch, and the difference is visible when you're using it. The other thing, Wacom has done a lot to get the price of these display tablets down. When I was looking 10 years ago, the Cintiq line was too expensive for me, and the Wacom One didn't exist yet. And I actually ended up looking at their business solutions, and I found something at a better price point. That's actually my story of getting my first Wacom display tablet. But anyway, now Wacom has created devices that are more affordable for everyone. And if the Wacom One 13 Touch is still outside of your price range, then check out the Wacom One 12, which is their other new release. Yes, it's a bit smaller and it doesn't have the multi-touch, but other than that, all the features are the same as what I've described with the Wacom One 13 Touch. And you can also grab the first generation Wacom One on sale right now. So that could be another option too. I really wish that every educator and student had one of these available because there's so much you can do with it. When you have great tools, you become more creative and you want to make more. At least that's what I found. And that's why you hear me share out about my favorite tools all the time. I've spent so much time and energy finding the right ones. It's something I love doing, but it's time consuming and it requires a lot of research and some frustrations, but also a lot of excitement. So I do my best to pass along what I'm exploring, what I'm loving, and I hope that it helps other people. So thank you for watching. Again, if you have any follow-up questions, please leave a comment or you can also message me directly. That's going to be it for now. I hope you enjoyed this review and I will be enjoying my Wacom One 13 Touch. All right, bye for now.